What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kpop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. I'm your host, JT, with my co-host, Fallgraw. And as you can hear, we are on the road.
For the first time in 2023.
First time in 2023.
Bringing you...
We went to a concert.
A concert review.
Concert review. Wrap it up, I guess.
This is our new series called Two Hosts and One Fiesta.
Two Hosts, One Fiesta.
But before we talk about the concert, we got a special plug for today.
Let's just give
It's not a sponsorship or a paid promotion. This is us vouching for...
This is free ads.
This is free advertisement for the Healthcare Korea and Golf Mill Mall in... It's supposed to be Des Plaines. For some reason, someone said it was Niles. I don't know why. But if you go to Golf Mill Mall, there's this place called Healthcare Korea, and somebody's running some special pop-up K-pop store. I think it's called like K-pop Nation on Instagram. Justin got, what is it?
I just got it as an Instagram ad. Like, you go through stories and you get ads.
Yeah.
I got an ad and I was just like looking at it, and it was like Chicago, this pop-up store, you know, and I kind of knew the area because you used to live...
I literally lived like across
the street, and I was like, I feel like that was at that mall or something, so... And it said Chicago, so, I mean, even if it wasn't, I was like, maybe we could go or, like, somewhere. But I sent it to you.
It's like a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah, I sent it to you, and yeah, it turns out it was literally the mall that you used to live right by that we'd been at before. So yeah, we just went to check it out because we had some time to kill before the concert.
And also, for anyone who goes over there, you're not going to know that it's there unless you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be like a store, like if you go to Too Cool or go to like Best Buy or like an actual storefront, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was like...
We weren't really sure what to expect, but that's what we were thinking.
A store that was already there.
Especially since it said it was like a pop-up. I thought maybe they would have been in like renting...
Like a stand or something.
Renting a store that wasn't in use for maybe a couple weeks. I don't know.
But it was literally when you walk in, you look to the right, and there's just like a crap ton of CDs, season's greetings, light sticks, anything you can imagine. And honestly, we both said one of the best spreads of K-pop merchandise we've ever seen.
Oh, easily.
Outside of clothing. They didn't really have any clothing.
It was just funny because we didn't know where it was, and like this place didn't really have any K-pop stuff on the outside to like invite you in.
Or before.
They just had like one
Blackpink.
There was like one Blackpink poster that was like hung up crooked on the window, and we're like, oh, hey, that's cool. But then we like looked around and didn't see anything, and then we walked in, and then there's just these tables, like literally folding tables set out. But my gosh, you were right. It was like the most amazing thing. I didn't even know. I was like freaking out because
I was like shell shocked.
It was like, so cool.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
What they had. Like, we kind of thought, okay, they're just gonna have like random BTS stuff,
or maybe a couple albums here and there.
Maybe like a couple popular groups. Albums,
like everything.
But they had so much stuff, and it was so much stuff that was like current too, like up-to-date albums,
girl groups, boy groups,
up-to-date season's greetings, up-to-date like other types of merch, like photo books for certain groups.
Yeah, like 2023, like photo books.
Like, it was all up-to-date stuff.
A bunch of cool stuff like keychains, pins.
So they had multiple official light sticks too that you could buy, like Blackpink, BTS. They had the Kepler and Stacy light sticks.
SF9, AT, Stacy.
Like, they had all these light sticks too. I mean, there was...
And here's the other thing: it's all reasonably priced, like very.
Yeah,
very
that was like
priced.
The crazy thing is because a lot of times you run into situations where that stuff, since it, you know, it's not easy to get all the time. It's like marked up. But none of this stuff was. It was all super reasonable.
Because I got
super awesome price. We could have spent so much money there. We had to like really control ourselves because there was so much cool stuff.
A desk calendar for InMix. I got a cool InMix like little lanyard thingy, and I got the Admire album that I've never even seen in person until I saw it there.
Yeah.
And it cost me less than $50 after tax.
Crazy.
And I got a free photo card.
Yeah, they had like a whole thing of photo cards sitting out, and you could pick one, which was really cool. I mean, they had a ton of stuff. There was a lot of posters too. We didn't really even have time to go through them.
And they had like the jewel cases of people.
Yeah, I got the I Love album. I got Shua's for Idol. It was really cool. It's kind of like a lips shot of in that had each of the members. I love those types of cases. I think they're really cool. Oh man, I don't know. There was just so much stuff I could have bought. So much stuff I could have bought.
Still time.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully they're there for a while and we can go back.
Yeah, hopefully
the lady told us they're getting more, so I don't even know what that means because they already had pretty much everything, I swear.
But yeah,
check it out. My gosh.
Free promotion for Healthcare Korea Golf Mill Mall. It's sick. If you're listening to this,
it's kind of
and you're in that area, go check it out. You won't regret it. Especially if you've been looking for albums, like cheap albums.
You'll probably find the album you're looking for.
I think every album was between maybe $18 and $25, which is pretty cheap for a K-pop album.
Super cheap for a K-pop album. So cheap. It's hard to find them in person that cheap.
Very true. Yeah, no shipping costs, no waiting or anything. Just right there.
Just right there.
And a lot of them, they had
crazy.
Every version of them too. If there's multiple versions, they had it.
Yeah, and if you really need your season's greetings, you need to go there. They had so many season's greetings. 2023. It was ridiculous, but in a good way. In a good way. They had pins. I don't know. I really want to go back. I really do.
Also, don't want to brag, but I did get the Admire album, and I pulled High One out of it. So I'm now 2 for 2 on pulling High One out of the albums I've bought.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Which is funny because the first one I got was an Intorf album from Mom and Dad's store, the Fancy Pencil.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that was there until we were looking through and I saw it. Dude, this is it.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it that day when we were driving up there about how we'd never seen one in person. And we found it and I got it. And of course I got High One as my
you did.
card. So 2-0 for pulling her out of my albums that I get. So that's a pretty good percentage. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is.
That's super good. Super good. But yeah, go check out that place.
But anyways, back to the news at hand here. So for once, 2 for onces. For once, we were the first stop on a tour that a group went on, so we couldn't look at the set list ahead of time and see what was going on. So that was kind of cool because you don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And also, first for us, we've never been to a boy group show before.
Yeah, like an official boy group tour.
And this is the first ever boy group concert we've ever went to, and it was NCT 127.
Yes.
Neo City The Link or something like that.
It was Neo City The Link.
Now, they were here one time before 3 years ago. They came back, and this is Johnny's hometown, so it was pretty cool, Yeah,
I mean,
if you come back.
If you didn't know that going to the concert, you knew afterward, let me tell you.
Also, Justin brought up
85 times.
A good point, that we've now officially seen more K-pop idols in their hometowns performing than one of our friends has seen when they saw Blackpink in Korea.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a real stat.
We've seen, yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard to break down, but
yeah, it's kind of weird.
You gotta think about it, but it's true because we've seen multiple K-pop idols who are from Chicago perform in Chicago.
And when he saw Blackpink, Jisoo's the only one from Korea. So
yeah, so that's pretty crazy to think about. Shout out to the Chicago idols. You're doing it. You guys are doing it. But yeah, they made it very well known that it was Johnny's hometown.
Which is kind of
funny. He was super happy to be back. You can tell he's super happy to be back.
And everyone is happy for him. So
everyone is happy for him to be back. So that's really cool to see. I think that's really cool to see.
So since we haven't had any shows yet, we have a breakdown of the set list for you. Then once we're done talking about all the songs and stuff, we'll give you our final thoughts on about the concert and all that stuff.
Yeah, so, and this one was again, if you were with us for Blackpink, it was at the United Center in downtown Chicago.
Full of people.
There was a really good crowd, I'd say. Really good.
There was a lot of light sticks. First off, I got to shout out the light sticks because that was awesome.
Well, that was my big winner of the whole show. Was the most impressive thing I saw the whole night was the light stick.
I never understood what concert mode was until tonight, and I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. I don't know if they just set their light stick to concert mode or what, but it literally was synced up with the show. So whenever the lights change colors, their light sticks change colors.
It was just on beat or different colors or different tempos, or if they needed to be off, they were off. except for all the little goofs who like I guess didn't know how to do it, and it was just green. Like you'd see a few of them who like they were not part of the crew, but
overall it's pretty sick.
The light stick is very cool. The NCT light stick, very impressed. That was like honestly my most impressive thing of the whole show.
There was one time when the lights like turned off and they flashed on really fast and red, and like every single person like flashed on.
Yep.
When they came out for their first song, it was sick.
Like they go red, they had a lot of different types of colors too. I've never seen
that happen before.
Light sticks like that, so that was really mind blowing to be honest with you.
Now their first little intro thing, they had like an intro video. And then the next little thing they did was like a player introduction kind of thing. They didn't really introduce them, but they like came down off a stage.
Yeah.
To like some crazy, like dancey metalcore remix of like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, they kind of took their time getting introduced, as happens in K-pop shows sometimes.
And then, but
to add the drama.
Yeah. Then once they came down, they like the lights flashed on, and they came out, and the first song they played was "Kick It."
Yeah, they
freaking sick.
Which I mean was honestly like one of the songs I was looking forward to the most. So they hit the ground running. Really with the first few songs, which I feel like sometimes they do that in K-pop shows. Like they really like set the tone early, and like go back to back with like big hit songs, like upbeat songs.
After that, I was super hyped because they were playing a bunch of B-sides that I really liked.
Yeah.
Because is that when they played Lemonade next?
They played Lemonade.
Freaking love it. It's one of my probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, NCT 127 songs. And then they came out with Cherry Bomb.
With everyone's favorite, Cherry Bomb.
Like,
which was really cool to see live, something you never really thought you'd get to see.
And then they came out with like freaking fireworks and like freaking flamethrowers.
Cherry Bomb was really great. It was really cool. So they had that, like 3 quick songs of like super awesome, high energy, big time songs. Then they got into their intros.
And that lasted literally 11 minutes.
They
like
talked,
it took forever.
They talked a long time today.
They were pretty funny, so I mean, it is what it is.
It was good, but some like they talked a long time.
And like half of them had really good English, so you could actually understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
And then the other ones didn't really, but they like were just really high energy, so it was kind of funny.
Yeah, so they introduced themselves.
It was funny because the one, okay, I will say, so you guys know, we've said it before, but we don't know all the members of the group, so I don't even know which
Not
ones
like
are the ones
perfectly,
talking.
yeah.
I know like 4 of them really well, but also I didn't put on the set list their solo things, so I have no idea who was doing what solos. So I just kind of let that off. They all did like a little solo song or dancer thing, which made the concert a lot longer.
But it was also kind of tough because they kind of just like squeezed them in, and they almost weren't even full songs.
No, it was only like a minute, like a minute 30 seconds.
They would do like a part of a song or like a dance, and then like
that was it.
And then they'd kind of just like be done, and you're like, was that like the outro of the song we just heard?
Like an intro to a new song?
Or like an intro to a new thing? Like, so it was kind of confusing because we didn't exactly know those.
And I didn't even know they're real songs by them, or they were like random songs.
Yeah,
so I didn't add that to it.
But they each technically had like a solo type. Some of the members' ones were like longer than other ones, but yeah, they each did like a solo thing.
And then
we did know that.
Yeah, so the best part about the intros was when the one guy, I don't remember who he is, said that he just remembers the last time when they were in Chicago, Johnny cried. So his whole goal of this concert was to make him cry again.
Yeah, that was funny. They were funny. They were funny guys.
But then after the intros, we went into the next songs and what they got. Justin's got the set.
I have it here, what we figured out. They had Elevator.
Oh yeah, they played Elevator. That was pretty sick. Dreamers, that's another one of my favorite B-sides. I was really shocked they played that.
They played Love Song. This was a different type of vibe for this part of the concert. Love Song. Then they played Highway to Heaven, which was the first NCT song I ever had on my playlist, was Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, I know everybody loves that song.
That's a really good song. I've had it for years. And then they played Breakfast. These are all songs I'm not super familiar with. Breakfast, The Himalayas.
Oh yeah, so I do know before the Himalayas one, that's when Mark came out and rapped, and then Taeyong came out and rapped, and then they both did the little song together.
They rapped together, which was cool. That was cool. People loved that, obviously. Then they had Focus, and then The Rainy Night.
Yep.
So
Then there was a song, I wasn't really sure what it was. There's another slower song. But I do know before they got into those slower songs, it had like a crazy, what was it? Just like a crazy, it was kind of ballady sounding. But that's when like Johnny's solo is literally him at like a POV shower scene.
Oh my gosh.
Dancing shirtless inside of a clear container, like doing chin-ups. It was wild.
If you want to know the most viewed part of the concert, or most loud part of the concert, it was that.
Very ripped guy.
It wasn't weird. It was just like, I don't know. It's funny because that was his solo stage.
And let's just say you don't see that at girls' concerts.
That's just not how. He's like in the bathroom and he like. Well, they like hinted at it because he like took off his shirt and then put on like a robe,
like
and
a
then later on
robe.
he like took off the satin robe and was shirtless and doing a bunch of suggestive moves and like doing all these weird pull-ups in this little like
glass container
IKEA bathroom design thing. And then there was like a point of view on the mirror. I'm like, this seems like, I don't know. It was certainly a sexy dance.
It
was a sexy dance. So. The NCT was definitely, they had a lot of sexy type vibe in this concert. Like, I just remember like a whole section was like, oh, is it gonna be ballad or sexy time? I don't know.
True.
That was like the whole middle part of the concert. But yeah, that was the fans' loudest part of the concert was when he was doing his stuff with his shirt off. No doubt. It was loudest part of the concert.
The only other solo thing I really remember.
Oh, that was definitely one to remember for sure.
What was the other?
And then there's was there a break?
No, that's a song I don't remember what it was. There's another slow song.
Okay, and then Back to You.
Actually, that song for being a slow song is pretty good. I'd never heard that before. It was pretty cool.
Then Favorite.
Favorite's awesome.
Which was a pretty good song. It was cool. And then Regular.
Yeah, Regular's sick.
They played a lot of music.
They kind of picked it up a little bit after the ballady songs.
Yeah.
Because then after that, didn't they do, did they do Sticker?
Yeah, well, they played Love on the Floor.
Yeah, that's when they
Paradise.
were like grinding on the floor.
Yeah, they were humping the ground. It was just, I was like, this was not what we saw with the girl groups.
Then they like left that kind of area and came back and had more like upbeat, fun songs.
Yeah, was that when they had like the letters? Because then did they have Paradise after the letters?
Yeah, I think so.
Because each member kind of had a letter on screen, and just a little production tip for them. For the ones reading in Korean, your screen was too small with your subtitles.
Yeah, it was really small.
We couldn't read what it said. So
and I'm gonna tell you, it's a big screen.
Let me put it bigger.
The way they had it, the middle part had like videos of them playing whatever.
It was kind of like behind the scenes.
Now, if I was them, I would have made one side with the letter they wrote, and the other side with the same letter in English.
Yes.
Instead of having both sides in Korean.
Or just have it like, I don't know, a translation or someone translate. It was just hard because like, the screen was, you couldn't read the sub, so some of the letters we didn't really know what they're saying.
And then it was funny because Mark literally was like, if you guys are hearing this right now, it means you're in the back changing.
Yeah.
And you're listening to my voice coming out of the speakers and blah, 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 all this stuff. You guys are the best. And we're going to play Paradise.
Now we're coming back to play Paradise. And then like stopped, and then they played Paradise. Then they played Touch.
Touch is awesome.
Then Love Me Now.
Yep.
Then they did play Sticker.
Sticker's always been a really weird song for me. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's kind of weird.
I was actually kind of happy for it this time, though, because I was not super big on it, but it kind of got the tempo back up.
Yeah.
So I was, like, happy for that. And then they played Dreams Come True and Promise You.
Yeah.
And that's all I got on the bar playlist. There were some two baddies in there for sure.
I think that was afterwards. They came back and they played. I must have forgot to put them on there, but I know before they did the last two songs, which were like the encore songs.
Yeah.
That's where they came out and they did. I think it was after Sticker.
Yeah.
They did. I think it's like Fast or something is what it's called.
Yeah.
And then they did Two Baddies.
Yep.
And Two Baddies was a sick live.
Two Baddies was probably my favorite song of the day. It was really good. It was really cool. And everybody loved it, obviously.
Yeah, sorry, I did a bad job of updating the set list.
No.
But I mean, they were there, they played them.
But hey, we knew that one. And
so, I mean, how many songs did they play all together?
Because then after that, they still probably played about two more songs of just kind of like going away.
Yeah, because
bye songs. Because then they had a goodbye time when they said.
Then they talked again.
They like changed kind of and talked again.
Then they did the encore song, which was what was the last song?
Well, this just has "Promise You" on it. Was that the last?
I think so.
Like official one.
So I mean, they did a lot of songs. Also, this was a very long show.
I'm getting like 25 here, so there's probably 30, like around 30 plus songs, give or take. Like, it was a lot of songs.
And we talked about it earlier. They talked so much. Like, I know there's a bunch of them, but they're like literally talked so much. It probably was like 30 minutes worth of talking.
It was yeah. So then they closed out the show, had confetti. So they did. They had a lot of talking, and it like I don't know. I don't want to say it's a bad thing because the people love to see it, but sometimes it does add up, and you're like, okay, like maybe it kind of hinders the flow of the concert sometimes. And this show was really long. Like that's kind of a gripe I have with it. It was like a 3-hour plus show. It was like a hint over 3 hours.
It was pretty long.
We've never been to a K-pop show that was anywhere close to that. Like I don't know. I don't feel like this show should have been 3 hours. And again, like to a bigger NCT 127 fan, like they probably loved every second. But for me, leaving, I was like, I feel like there's a lot of kind of middle area of songs that like we could cut that and smush together, and like I would have been like badass show.
If anything, they could have got rid of all the solo stuff, and they could have got rid of
they just really
the 2 different talking areas and just have one, which would have saved like at least an hour.
Which like everyone does the talking in the beginning and then sometimes the middle, which they didn't really do, and then the end. I was like, I don't know, maybe if you could just kind of condense that a little more,
or not take 11 to 15 minutes to talk.
Or maybe if it's like, I don't know, there's just like sometimes that like really works well, and then sometimes it's kind of like, okay, we're kind of just hearing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was different for like Idol and even like ITZY and stuff compared to just like, okay,
at least when they did talk the second time, it was funny because Mark said he had a bunch of memories he wanted to share with us.
Yeah.
And all he said was the one he was going to pick was when he went to Panera Bread and he got chicken soup. Or chicken noodle soup in a bread bowl.
That was his lasting Chicago memory. That was the funniest moment of the whole show.
He's like, I've got so many thoughts and emotions I want to share with you right now, but the one I'm going to choose to talk about is Panera Bread. You guys have really good chicken soup.
Oh my gosh! Like, did they pay him to say that?
You guys put it in like a bread bowl. He's like, that's awesome.
It was so funny. That was like really, really funny. Johnny did not cry. He did not. I was actually shocked because I thought he would definitely cry. He did not cry.
And Haechan wasn't there.
He was not there,
so we didn't get all the members, which is on par for us going to see groups. So
hopefully, they said he'll come back. They definitely had a very strong hint that they will be coming back sooner than later and having 2 nights
instead of 1.
Because that's what they kept saying, was like, we really hope we have 2 nights. Wink, like.
Also, shout out to Tang for being a great leader and awesome member.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Because
they have some really cool members.
According to them, they left earlier this week and they've been here for a couple days getting ready for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Taeyang was like rumored to be sick and not be here. And he literally got on a plane yesterday and got here this morning.
Yeah.
And he went to the show and performed at the show and did awesome.
Yeah, he was really great.
He even told us, he's like, yeah, I just got here this morning.
He's like, the jet lag doesn't affect me.
And he came out and freaking killed it.
Yeah.
So really shout out to you, dude. That was awesome.
That's what leaders do.
Hopefully next time they come back, there are other guys with them and you can see all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely see him again. I mean,
I will say my one most disappointing part of it was anyone who wanted to see Simon Says, they did not play that, and I don't understand why.
They'll just probably play it at every other show.
Very upset.
Maybe they just forgot.
Like, I don't understand. Like, there's so many other songs they played. Like, that was such a popular song that you had. Why would you not play it?
I didn't get it. It was really disappointing, actually, because I really wanted to hear that song.
Especially when you're playing B-sides.
I just think when you should have a concert, okay, you can have your more sentimental some songs, but I just like when they almost just play the hits and play the awesome upbeat. Let's just keep it upbeat the whole time.
I mean, I get it. There's a lot of NCT fans who probably wanted that stuff because there's songs that the fandom likes, because that happens all the time. But it's why I don't know.
You don't think the NCT fans wanted freaking Simon Says though? Like,
I don't know.
it was already a 3-hour plus show. We couldn't add 3 more minutes.
Or like not played, you know, one of your B-sides. You just played your other title track.
I don't know. Maybe we're just grumpy old men at this point. But like, I thought personally, it seemed just too long.
It was very long.
Like there was times during it, I'm like, I don't want to say I was bored, but I was like, man, it just felt long. Like when a concert is, to me, like when it's great and like I love it and I'm like, wow, I never feel like the concert's too long.
I will say the first hour went by really fast. Cause like, oh,
it
man,
did.
It's only 9 o'clock.
I was like, dang, like they're
really
probably only going to play
through.
about a half hour, maybe another hour. Like, but no,
once they hit those like slower ballady songs, it definitely made it.
They just kept playing them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like these guys' their vocals are really good, but it's just not always my cup of tea.
And like I said, we like NCT. It's one of my favorite boy groups, but we're not like super hard NCT stands.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was great for all the NCT
I will
fans
say,
out there.
on a freaking Monday night in January in Chicago, it was cold, like pretty cold. Like the NCT fans did really great. Like the energy was great the whole time, especially for a long show. They did a really great job in the United Center. It was pretty full. It definitely was not as full as it was when we saw Blackpink.
Oh no, not even close.
It wasn't. It was not like Blackpink, but it still was pretty full. Like it was impressive to see what NCT could have for a crowd. Again, like a week work night in Chicago on like a cold day. But
I was still kind of shocked that they even went to the United Center. They didn't like go to Allstate Arena.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it had to do something with timing or scheduling. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like a group could be more suited to go to Allstate than to go to
just
the
walking
United Center.
in, we just knew because like there was like no line at the merch. There was like no lines anywhere. Where Blackpink, it was literally a zoo, and you had to like walk through people to get everywhere. And
so crowded.
The merch line was literally a mile, and there was a million more merch places. But again, Blackpink is just a bigger group.
Overall, it was really cool.
It was cool.
We've never seen a boy group before. We always heard they like bring the energy. I mean, they definitely did for their energetic songs. Like,
they were the best. I don't know if you could just cut out everything else and have that. It was.
I'm honestly just really impressed they could go from the ballady songs and pick up the energy again and do 2 baddies.
Yes,
I mean,
shout out to those guys because they were the ones that had to perform for 3 hours.
I'd have been like, damn, this is boring. I don't even got the energy to come back out here and do this.
Like,
right now.
I'm tired. Maybe 2 hours is long enough, but yeah, I mean, it was good. It was definitely good, and
I gotta go see him.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't know. Not hating on it, but I'm just gonna be honest with how I felt. Like, I mean, we always say our reaction to how we feel about the concerts, and if it's great, we say it, and if there's maybe stuff we thought could have been better, we say that too. I don't know, maybe it was because the first one too, so they're kind of like ironing out some stuff.
Like, it was legit the first one on the show. So
on the whole tour, because they have a couple more stops here in the United States, and then they're going somewhere else,
South America,
for more stops. So maybe they're kind of like, all right, this is some stuff we can improve on. I don't know. We've just never been to a show that long, so even when it was KCON and they had a bunch of different people,
it's kind of weird that they did start at 8, which is kind of late for a show in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got done like in exactly 3 hours, and they were out of there because we left and they were closing out. And it was like,
you know what I got mad?
It was like 10:55, so they must have just got done at 11 o'clock.
I mean, you know what I got mad respect for them, which I mean, it kind of added in anyway, is we didn't get the goofy encore where they like left and then we had to wait and then came back. Like, they actually had like an end, and like once they hit that the confetti, we're like, okay, I think they're done.
Yeah, the confetti cannons are dead giveaway.
They were like, all right, they're done.
You're not shooting the confetti off twice, let me tell you.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't know. That's why I was like, gosh, they can't have an encore. It's so freaking long.
I was just like, is this ever going to end? Like, are we going to give Simon Says it?
That's what I just like kept waiting for, and then it just never happened. And then once they got like the ending ballady with like, whenever they put on like the tour T-shirts that you can buy, you're like, okay, this is like actually the end. And I was like, I don't know if we're gonna get it.
I don't know.
It was weird. I was really looking forward to that song. That is a pretty big bummer.
That was literally like the only thing I remember texting. I was like, man, at least we can see Simon Says.
I just love Simon Says. Oh my gosh, I've loved that song for a long time.
But it is what it is. Maybe next time.
Yeah,
overall, it was a pretty sick concert.
I'd definitely go see him again.
They also just dance so hard. Like,
yeah,
great dancers.
You gotta love the energy of the good guys, like for sure. Like they're
Now,
awesome.
overall, it was our first boy group show. And I mean, we're also extremely biased, but I wouldn't say it's any better than any girl group show I've ever been to.
Oh no, no.
Like everyone's just go to boy group shows. They're like so much better. Blah,
No,
blah. I don't think so at all.
I think something I actually thought about during, which again, no hate, no shade, because the NCT boys did amazing. I think the girls are, I mean, just as good at dancing, just as good at bringing the energy, just as good at performing, just as good, or even better, probably better at everything else. Like, it just really shows how impressive, I guess, K-pop is overall. Is these people are so talented. Like, everyone's just so good. But
also, we can attest to that because we saw them alternating at KCON.
yep.
I wouldn't say the boys that wear KCON are any better than the
No,
girls.
you're not like,
except
wow.
B2B, but they're legends. You can't stop
What a glaring difference of like the talent. No, not at all. I don't know. It's kind of hard to rank that one because it was our first. Oh my gosh! I will say, if we rank first 3 songs, NCT might win.
Dude,
And I don't know. Blackpink was
they
pretty
came
good,
out-
but they came out hot. They came out real hot, and I mean they opened with freaking "Kick It." Like that's awesome. That's a sick
Like I said,
song.
Lemonade's like one of my favorite songs they have.
So
Then they played freaking...
I was a little nervous when they had
Cherry
those 3.
Bomb.
I was like, oh man, those are some heavy hitters, and we're already done. Like, what
Did
do
they
we
blow
got?
their load early? Like
I was like, what do we got going on? And little did we know, we had a lot of ballads coming and a lot of sexy dance. So if you want to see NCT sexy dance, you better go to this concert.
You better stay for like Act 3.
My
so
gosh,
it's gonna happen.
yeah. Oh my. If you like Johnny, this is your day.
I mean, hey, we both agreed. He's a good-looking dude, so I mean...
I said it before. I was like, yeah. I don't know all the members, but I really know Johnny because he's a good-looking guy. And boy, did we find that out today.
It's true,
It must
he
have
is.
hurt us.
But, no, it was really fun. I'm glad Johnny had a good time. I'm glad he could come home.
Yeah, always fun to see the idols come home.
I'm always disappointed when I see a K-pop group in Chicago who feels not the MC. But
Oh, I don't know.
what you gonna do?
Chicago's real son. But yeah, it was fun. And I mean, sounds like they're going to come back. And if we can make it, I'm sure we'll go check out NCT again.
And I will say, too, we said this before, I think, on a bucket list, I always said I wanted to see a boy group, and I wanted my first boy group to be NCT. So,
Well,
we did it.
Absolutely happened.
Well, I guess not technically, because we saw B2B, but...
First, like, actual tour
That's like
for
God tier.
just the boy group. Yeah.
Like, paying physical money to go see a boy
Well,
group
the first,
on purpose.
technically, the first on-stage boy group we ever saw was, oh crap, I always forget who it is.
Krabby?
Yeah, I always want to say in hyphen, but it was Gravity. It was technically the first boy group
True.
on stage we ever saw was Gravity.
I will say, too, the one dudes we saw, was it TL1 or JL1 or something? They were pretty good.
They were, man, that KCON thing was fun. And then, yeah, B2B is great, too. All the boy groups we've seen on stage have been really
good.
It's more of just kind of a timing thing with this NCT one that made it a little bit of like, what is going on?
But
It wasn't them. It wasn't them at all.
There you go. The first group I paid physical money to purposely go see
We had awesome seats.
was NCT. So I'm gonna upload some videos and some shorts so you guys can check it out. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. We gotta go check those out, especially since we're only touring a few places in the United States.
Well, there you go. That's our
But,
update.
that's our update.
First
NCT
concert of the year. First boy group show.
2023.
2 hosts, 1 fiesta.
Two hosts, 1 fiesta. Off to a hot start, so hopefully we get some more soon. But until then, I'm JT. He is Fogra. We are the K-pop Kimchi Podcast. We love you guys. Peace.
Hurry up, 거리 up, no, let it fly. flip the 멈춘 순간 널 향해 도준 다 sound up. Hands up, 뒤돌아, hands up, 흔들어 숨이 가득처럼 여기 벅에서 걸. 왜 떠는지만 보고서 있나 우두커네. 왜 또 겁먹게 표정 늘지 마 이걸 원해. 주문을 I'm God. Nowhere to hold on like wow. My team wheels so sexy. Now she knows she can break me. Look at your kids. Bless me out true. Simon says be cool. Don't be such a fool.